The narrative opens with a profound divine directive, a moment of ultimate challenge for Abraham, the patriarch chosen by the Almighty. This was not merely an instruction, but a crucible designed to assay the very core of his devotion and trust. The nature of this command was staggering in its severity. Abraham was instructed to offer his son, Isaac, as a burnt offering. Isaac, the child of promise, born in Abraham's old age, represented the culmination of God's covenant and the future of his lineage. This sacrifice was to be a holocaust, a complete offering, performed on a specific height in the land of Moriah. The precision of the instruction underscored its divine origin and the gravity of the impending act. Despite the unimaginable anguish this command must have evoked, Abraham demonstrated an unwavering faith and immediate obedience. His response was not one of hesitation or argument, but of resolute submission to the divine will. He rose early the next morning, a detail that speaks volumes of his determination and the absence of procrastination in his obedience. This swift action set in motion the most pivotal journey of his life. Abraham meticulously prepared for the arduous task ahead, gathering Isaac, 2 of his servants, and the necessary wood for the sacrifice. Every action was deliberate, reflecting a profound commitment to the divine mandate. The journey to the designated place, Moriah, spanned 3 days, a period of silent, agonizing contemplation for Abraham. Each step brought him closer to an act that defied human understanding and paternal instinct. On the 3rd day, Abraham sighted the place from afar, a distant peak that would become the stage for an unparalleled demonstration of faith. The destination, once a vague instruction, now materialized before his eyes. He then instructed his servants to remain behind with the donkey, signifying that the final, most sacred part of this journey was to be undertaken alone. This was a private, deeply personal encounter between Abraham, Isaac, and God. Abraham and Isaac proceeded alone, a solitary pair ascending the mountain. Isaac, in his innocence, carried the wood for the very sacrifice that was intended for him, a poignant detail in this unfolding drama. Abraham himself carried the fire and the knife, the instruments of the offering. These objects, typically symbols of provision and sustenance, now represented the stark reality of the divine command. As they ascended, a poignant question arose from Isaac, innocent in its inquiry yet laden with profound implications. He observed the wood and the fire, but noted the absence of a lamb for the burnt offering, a detail that must have pierced Abraham's heart. Abraham, in a moment of profound faith and prophetic insight, replied that God himself would provide the lamb for the burnt offering. This statement, born of trust, foreshadowed the divine intervention yet to come. Upon reaching the designated place, the summit of the mountain, Abraham immediately set about building an altar. This was not a place of casual worship, but a sacred site prepared for an ultimate act of devotion. He then carefully arranged the wood upon the altar, creating the pyre for the offering. Each piece of wood laid down was a step closer to the fulfillment of the divine, yet agonizing, command. In the most harrowing moment, Abraham bound Isaac, his beloved son, and placed him upon the wood on the altar. This act, beyond human comprehension, underscored the absolute nature of Abraham's obedience. With Isaac bound and laid upon the altar, Abraham reached out to take the knife. His hand moved with a terrible resolve, ready to carry out the sacrifice, demonstrating a faith that transcended all earthly bonds. At the very precipice of this ultimate act, the Lord's messenger called from heaven, intervening at the last possible moment. This divine voice halted Abraham, preventing the completion of the sacrifice. The messenger explicitly commanded Abraham not to lay a hand on Isaac, nor to do anything to him. This intervention affirmed God's purpose was not the death of Isaac, but the testing of Abraham's heart. God, through his messenger, acknowledged Abraham's profound devotion and his willingness to not withhold his beloved son. This act proved the depth of Abraham's reverence and his absolute trust in the Almighty. Abraham then looked up and saw a ram, caught by its horns in a thicket nearby. This miraculous provision was a direct answer to his earlier declaration that God would provide. He took the ram and offered it as a burnt offering in place of Isaac, a substitution that underscored God's mercy and his ultimate plan. The ram became the true sacrifice, fulfilling the divine requirement. Abraham named the site Yahweh Yireh, a name laden with theological significance, meaning the Lord will see or the Lord will provide. This name serves as an eternal testament to God's faithfulness and provision. Following this profound demonstration of faith, God's messenger reiterated the divine promise to Abraham. This reaffirmation solidified the covenant, now proven through Abraham's obedience. God swore by himself, an oath of unparalleled solemnity, to bless Abraham abundantly. This divine pledge underscored the unchangeable nature of his commitment to his chosen servant. The promise extended to Abraham's descendants, who would become as numerous as the stars of the heavens and the sands on the seashore. This imagery conveyed an unimaginable multitude, ensuring the continuity of his lineage. Furthermore, his descendants would take possession of the gates of their enemies, a promise of victory, dominion, and security. This spoke to a future of strength and influence for Abraham's progeny. Crucially, through Abraham's descendants, all nations of the earth would find blessing. This universal scope highlighted the far-reaching impact of Abraham's obedience, extending beyond his immediate family. This immense blessing was explicitly attributed to Abraham's obedience, particularly his willingness to heed the divine command. His faith became the conduit for blessings upon all humanity. After these momentous events, Abraham returned to his servants, and together they journeyed to Beersheba, where he settled. This return to normalcy marked the conclusion of an extraordinary and transformative episode. The passage concludes with a brief genealogy of Abraham's brother Nahor's descendants. This inclusion provides a broader family context, connecting Abraham's lineage to other significant figures in the unfolding biblical narrative. Among these descendants is Rebekah's father, Bethuel, a detail that subtly foreshadows future events and the continuation of the patriarchal line. This genealogical note weaves Abraham's story into the larger tapestry of salvation history.